So I've been getting a lot of questions about my custom headlight housing on my XSR900. I thought I'd share that with you today. Both of these were bought off Amazon. They fit Harley Davidsons. This is a generic Harley Davidson headlight housing. This is a generic Harley Davidson style RGB headlight, which means it's got its low beams, high beams, and a extra colorful ring that you can control with an app on your phone. The XSR900s and 700s have been known to not quite fit, standard 5.75 or 7-inch headlights. So if you wanted to try this out, you're going to have to get this headlight housing. This one just fits barely. It's pretty close there, but the aim is pretty good. It doesn't shine in other cars, doesn't blind people. Just requires a little modification of the headlight housing and a couple extra bolts from a hardware store. When you pull the stock headlight housing off, you're going to be met with a lot of wires, a couple plastic clips that you'll need to remove. But once you get all those out and untangled, you can put most of those wires back into this headlight housing. And for what doesn't fit, you can zip tie to your frame. Here I have custom turn signals, so I just shortened that and stuck it out here. Doesn't make that big of a difference as far as looks go, because you can't really see it when you're standing. These are standard size metric bolts. They need to be long enough so that they come into the housing, and on the inside of the housing there is a nut welded to this, and I added a second nut so I could tighten it to prevent it from moving back and forth. The configuration here, you see the bolt, the stock spacer, and they give you this rubber spacer here, and I believe there's a washer in between that too, maybe a lock washer. It's like that on both sides. For this bolt here to fit, I had to drill out ever so slightly, just a fraction of a millimeter. You're never going to notice. I like to keep my bikes able to be returned back to stock if I need to. So this configuration here will allow you to do that. There's no cutting of the stock wiring involved. There's no breaking off pieces or drilling into large metal pieces, except for the slight boring out of the hole for the bracket here. So this interior part here is your standard headlight, and this is the part that changes colors. This is controlled by your phone. It works on iOS and Android. I wired mine up so that when I turn my bike on, it will turn on. So right now I can just give it a couple seconds. I can open the app on my phone and I could make it whatever color I wanted. I could make it flash between whatever colors I wanted. I can make it fade between whatever colors I wanted. I can make it flash to music. I can make it change colors to a picture. There's all sorts of different settings and modes you can put it in. So for the like any other headlight, if you want to see what it looks like after you turn the bike on, this is the low beam. Pretty bright. Cutoff pattern's pretty good. It's a lot whiter than the halogen light, that comes on the bike factory. It's a lot nicer. And there's a distinct cutoff pattern. pretty good. The bottom light is your high beam. This is what that looks like. As you can see, the cutoff pattern changed. So, to control the outside ring of lights, you have to store a control box for Bluetooth somewhere on your bike. The only good place for that is really underneath the seat here. That's where I put mine. I have a wire running underneath here, and I tapped off of the license plate light. So I'm not using a license plate light here. And as you know, when you turn the bike on, the license plate light turns on. So that's why when I turn the key on here, the front light turns on too. For that, I just used 2 posi taps. I'll have links in the description for that too. They're pretty useful. They're a great way to tap into factory wiring without really damaging it all too much. So there's no cutting involved there either. I'll remove my seat and show you what it looks like. All right. Here's the control box. Here's the output to the headlights. What I did here is I cut and soldered these wires just because it was a little long. I don't know if you need to, but I like keeping my wires organized. So that's what I did there. And I have a posi tap here, and this is the license plate light. I'll have to fix that there, but it's pretty handy, very easy to use. You just put the tap through one side of the wire, factory wire, and put this other side on the other side, and it will pierce through the wire without cutting it. And then you can take your wire here and stick it in there, and it'll make a connection between this set of wires and the control box. Yep, so this wire is run through here, underneath the tank, not anywhere where it can get hot or burnt or anything. It comes through here, and it goes into the housing. And that is what powers the outside ring of lights only. The inside ring is powered by the standard headlight connector found on this bike here. If you have any questions at all about this setup here, feel free to ask. I'll reply to YouTube comments, emails, whatever. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Links are in the description. To buy the headlight housing, the headlight. If you need the bolt specs, I might be able to find the receipt for them. It was less than $10 worth at a hardware store, a regular hardware store. Not one quick thing about how I aim this headlight. I had to use a bolt here. I think it comes with these bolts to actually mount on the side, but these are too short, so I had 2 extras. I just put one here. I'm just using a zip tie. I'm sure there's better options, but I just zip tied this to the frame, and it's aimed properly. So yeah, can't really see it either.